Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Jill here with a video for Cocoa Daisy, and this is just going to be a kind of quick discussion of the stamps in the Cactus Moon kit, which is one of my favorite kits ever. I really love it. I love the colors and the patterns, and I love the stamps. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the two stamp sets from the memory keeping kits, and show you how I use them on a couple of different projects in different formats. So one set, as you can see, focuses on these wonderful little border stamps. And I haven't had a chance to use every single one of them yet, but I'm really looking forward to doing more with them. They're versatile. They're really great to use like just under a photo or on a pocket page card. Yeah, so I'll say a little bit about those, and there's one border on the other set from the memory keeping kits. And this circle is really versatile. There are lots of things you can do with it. I'm going to show you one way to use it on a traveler's notebook page, label stamp, and then the sentiments. And again, I haven't had a chance to use all the sentiments, but the ones that I've used are really, really fun. Okay, so those are the stamps, and let's start with my Project Life spread. This is the one that will be on the blog on Saturday, and so maybe you're coming here from the blog. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this first. I don't have the paper right here, but I have a little pad of just specialty kinds of paper, and this is a white paper, but it's translucent. I don't know if the camera probably won't really pick it up, but I wanted to just bring that up because keep in mind that you can stamp directly on a card or a TN page, but there are also lots of possibilities when you think about stamping on other material. Deli paper or somewhat translucent paper like this, or of course just plain cardstock. But you could stamp on craft cardstock. There are just so many, stamps are just, they open up so many possibilities. So what I did was I used this somewhat translucent paper and I stamped in, I don't have it right here, but a Distress Oxide Rusty Hinge, and for the label part. And the great thing about this stamp is that you can play around with colors for your labels. The kits often include, you know, wonderful labels that are really fast to use, but if you want to add a different kind of color, and here I did a second generation stamping. This was peacock feathers and a much brighter sort of aqua blue, and I stamped off on a piece of paper and then stamped on the label to give it a little softer feel. And you're going to see that I do this succulent in a realistic color in another project, but here I wanted to do it in pink, and I used Kitsch Flamingo, the Distress Oxide from Tim Holtz. And the reason I wanted that color, as you can probably see when you look at the whole page, is that there's just these little bits of pink here and there, and I wanted to bring it down to this part of the spread, a little bit of pink in my photo up here. And I've just been drawn to Rusty Hinge, that's why I use this, but I see later it kind of picked up the carrot color in the snowman, and certainly the rusty colors in the stack of notebooks I have down in this photo. So that's the beauty of stamps, is that you can really play with color and be more mindful of color when you're creating it with your inks. Okay, so the border stamps I used in just a simple, straightforward way here to show you how cute they look on Project Life cards. Not just the plain ones. I mean, I thought about, well, I'll stamp on a plain card, but when I realized I wanted to use this snowman to tie in the snow theme here, I also just thought, well, let's just stamp these borders right on the bottom of this card. And I thought it turned out really cute. And again, it allowed me to put a little more pink in along with that. And there I'm using the peacock, you can see, in its full strength. Oh, and then the label is just the right size for some of the Cocoa Daisy sentiments. This one, despite the forecast, live like it's spring, is just perfect for this photo and this point that I'm documenting in February, where you really want to live like it's spring, but you know that's probably not a realistic way to live. And then I just anchored it with a little puffy bird. So that's the stamping on the Project Life spread. Give you a few different examples. This one I just put the label down. This one I like wrapped it around the card to make it a little smaller. Okay, here's my TN spread made with the Cactus Moon kits. And they have a theme of succulents, and I have some succulents that I really love. And so I took a couple photos and put them in a two photo collage. And so the transparent element here says there is beauty all around. And that's really just, I didn't even do journaling on this page, because for me, this is just a page about everyday life being beautiful. And there are plenty of sentiments in the kit to underscore that. And I used one of them that, again, fits into the label. I used it as my title, Everyday Life is Beautiful. And here, instead of the rusty hinge, I used this Crackling Campfire Distress Oxide. I had a little bit of orange in the back of the background of one of the photos, and also, like, succulents are kind of tipped with this orangish color on their sagey leaves, and I just love playing with color, and so the stamping allowed me to do that. And I think I guess the other point I wanted to make about this Crackling Campfire color is it gives a sort of Southwest look to this pale aqua and greenish blue. And so I really like the combination, and blue and orange, of course, are complementary colors. Okay, so what I used, in case you're curious, in case you have it, Bundle Sage. I think Bundle Sage makes a really cute succulent. So you can see I stamped that little succulent in 3 different places. And the way I gave it a home, so it wasn't just completely floating, was to use this really fun plain circle stamp. And so so you can see I repeat stamped it. I used a couple of these aquas from Concord and 9th to pick up the colors in my paper. And so that's what the circles are. And besides creating a circle for each of the succulents, I wanted to ground them. So they're like sitting on something in their circles. And I did that with the border stamps, which we saw at the beginning. And I'm not like a really precise stamper, so I just kind of approximated how to get them in the circle, put a little piece of paper there and went for it. You could certainly cut out the circle and do some really precise stamping of these. And here I did a kind of little bit of messy second generation stamping. Again, I had just a tiny bit of pink with a dash line stamp, that Kitsch Flamingo again. And then I wanted some black, because I had black for my sentiment. There's black in the background here. So some of the borders are stamped in black. And then the last thing I wanted to point out was this Crackling Campfire. I felt like it would have been too little just to have just the label, even though there's a bit on the reverse side. So I wanted to bring that in a little bit of a dramatic way. So I took the thickest of the border stamps, this chevron, and simply all you need to do to create a curve, you see how they curve on the page, all you need to do is put it on your acrylic block like this. Just curve it a little bit in any direction you want. And when the stamps are a little bit longer like this is perfectly easy to do. It doesn't work if they're super short. So I always appreciate the somewhat longer border stamps, because they allow you to create this kind of interest along the edge with a curved shape. Okay, I guess that's it. That gives you some ideas of all the fun that you can have with the stamps in this month's kit from Coco Daisy, Cactus Moon. See you next time.